Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook or YouTube. And as a senior, putting in time and trying to enjoy everything that's available to us as seniors. Today was a great day. It rained today, and there was some sunshine. And I went to a place called Selma, which is about 30 miles away, and picked up a buddy of mine by the name Jack, and bass player we've known for a number of years. And we took a trip over the trail, which is about a 30-mile run. And the purpose of our trip was just to kill some time and talk about how things are going in our lives as seniors. And Jack's been trying to sell his house recently, and I'm still living in a seniors complex. And I may eventually move into a more assisted living thing as time goes on. But so far, I'm still driving and enjoying myself. So one thing nice about chumming around with somebody your same age gives us a chance to have a look and see what kind of medications we're on and what kind of shape we are experiencing in our lives, and get a chance to talk about different medications that we've been trying. The doctors have been treating us for this and that, and it allows us to learn between seniors. And I think from where I sit, it's a hell of a good thing, because we find out a lot of people have blood pressure problems or any other problems, and what kind of medications they're taking, and it gives an idea to learn from other people. So if they learn something that we can learn from, there's a plus right there. So in going down to trail today, we had a chance to go down to the Juanita Mall, and we met Jack's good friend there, Tina, and we had a cup of coffee and a little snack, and Jack and I went up to the Poplar Ridge, which is the seniors extension of the Trails Hospital. It's a section where they keep a few seniors there, and they're kind of there waiting for placement in the care homes, and it is a partial care home on its own. And we went to visit a retired senior my age, and he's a welder from the vocational school here. And Dick's been a good friend of ours, and he's been an instructor for years in welding and taught a lot of our people, and taught a lot. He has a lot of friends in the area, been here for years. And yeah, Dick had the misfortune of falling and breaking his hip a while back, so he's had a new hip installed at Trail Hospital. A surgical team there did it for him, and so now they've got him back there, and he's doing lots of therapy stuff. So they got him up walking, and so we can teach him how to walk again and get his strength back up. Because we all know that having major surgery, when they change the hip joint, a lot of times your muscles get weakened from the surgery, and the stretching that goes on in putting a new joint in place. So we had a good chance to visit. We visited for about an hour there, and in visiting the complex, we had a chance to see a bunch of seniors, some our age and some older, sitting around watching television, and also being instructed by some activity coordinators there, trying to keep the minds active and healthy. And all in all, it was a very productive day, and there was quite a bit of wind, and there was a little bit of rain and some sunshine. And then on the way back, Jack and I stopped, and like I said, and we visited with Tina at the mall, Bonita Mall, and talked about a few seniors issues, and had a little snack there. And Jack has to come in to see the doctor here. He's going to Trail tomorrow, and then he's coming here on Friday to have his eyes examined too. So we meet for coffee, and I take him up there, and I know the town a bit better than he does here, so we're kind of teaching him the ins and outs of where to park, and it's a matter of helping seniors. And I think it means, as we get older, if you're a senior, if you've got some family members in the same community, or you've got some good friends, it allows you to get out and have coffee, and have coffee together and talk about what kind of medical issues are happening, and also talk about what's being done to move into a better facility. Because as we age, we've got to get into something that's a little bit easier for us. Now, most of the guys that are retired from the government have a government pension, and in some cases what people are doing, they're selling their homes and moving into assisted living place where they can get their meals and have a parking place for their vehicles, and also be closer to downtown. And being closer to downtown allows you to walk to some of the places, walk to the doctor's office, and or walk down to the shopping centers. And as seniors, I find it really convenient to get together with some people that are similar age. And we might as well learn from somebody else, because if somebody's went through the learning exercise and picked up on how to do any particular activity, whether it's a senior activity, or whether it's to do with getting meals better, or whether it's better to move into an area where there's more facilities. And I'm thinking about it, the aging process. As we get older, if we're living in a house where there's a bunch of stairs, or we're in an apartment where there's no elevator, our life as a senior is going to be a lot more difficult, because visualize this. If you're living in an apartment building where there's no elevator, later on, if you suffer a broken hip or a broken leg, or if you have problems walking, you're going to have real difficulty accessing the building. Now, let's say you're on the 4th floor. So that means in order to get up to your place of living, you've got to walk up 4 flights of stairs to get where you're going. Well, that might be okay when you're young. But when you're 75 and 80 and 90 years old, it's going to be very difficult to climb a bunch of stairs like that. And you're creating a situation where you can fall and hurt yourself. So that's the idea of sitting and getting together with seniors our age, is to find out what kind of premises they're in, what kind of difficulties they're having, if any. And then we can also then learn from that exercise. We'll say, if I move now, I'm going to make sure I move into a place where there's an elevator, and try and stay away from the place that has stairs. If your elevator goes all the way to the bottom floor, you're okay, because you can get out of the elevator, crawl into your car, or you can walk out the front if you're lucky, and get into a bus or get into a taxi. But anytime we're getting older like that, we have to take a look at what's coming down the road at us. Now, my friend Jack is looking at selling his house, and I think he may wind up going into an assisted living place. Maybe him and Tina will wind up living in a senior's place together. But anyway, it's a good way of learning. And that way, if we learn from other people, we actually go to their house or go to where they live or go to restaurants, and we see how they're making out. And if they're having a handicap problem, walking, stuff like that, we see that. And we see what it's like to walk with a walker. And then we go back and take a look at our premises. And if we're living in a premises where there's a bunch of stairs, we know darn well that later on in life we're going to have a problem. So if we have a family, if we have a younger family living nearby, we should have to make a plan to try and move into something that's more comfortable for us. Now, in some cases, the comfortable places are difficult for seniors, because if you think about this, a man and a wife in a normal situation as they age, when they get to be 60, they get the Canada pension. And then when you get to be 65, you get the old age pension. Now, in today's dollars, if you paid into that all your life, if you paid into that for 30 years, you're probably going to wind up with a pension check, 2 pension checks. That's going to take you somewhere around $1,500 to $1,800. Now, if you've got a handicap pension, it's probably going to be closer to $1,800. But the thing that we notice here is that a lot of times people will move out of their house because they have to get out of the house because they've got stairs and the place is inaccessible, or they're living in a place where there's a lot of grass to cut or there's snow to shovel, and they're trying to move into a place that's more comfortable, more seniors accessible, where there are elevators to go up and down, get away from the stairs, get away from the trip and fall hazards, because as we get older, if our house has got a bunch of stairs, if you got 2 or 3 flights of stairs, and you don't have an elevator, as you get older, you've either got to fit yourself with one of those stair climbers, which can be a couple of $1,000, and have it installed in the home, or you got to look forward to moving into a place that you can go into where there's assisted living. But there's always a de facto about, can we afford it? Now, we see quite often with seniors here moving into different places in town, and if you think about the seniors, if they've sold their home and they have, they've got, say, $300,000 or $400,000 in the bank to play with, that helps them. But in many cases, seniors haven't done that. They've sold their home, and maybe they've traveled a lot and spent quite a bit of their life savings. So what they're left with is maybe $100,000 in the bank. And then you have the 4 pensions. Now, the 4 pensions would mean that the man gets his old age pension, the Canada pension, and the lady as well. So everything goes good until one of them has to go into a care home. That means the relationship then has to be split up. So it's either the wife or the husband will have to go into a care home or assisted living place. And now in doing that, it takes 2 of their pensions. So that means to say if they had 4 pensions to begin with, and they split up now because they have to, because of, could be a mental disability or physical disability. They can't live by themselves anymore, and they can't live with a partner because the partner, every time the partner wants to go someplace, he may have to go shopping, or they can't leave the other person all by themselves, especially if they got Alzheimer's, because they will wander off. So life changes. So with me, I'm in a learning mode now, watching other people, and I have my name on a list to go up to Mountain Lakes as I age more and I lose my driving ability. I'll probably wind up in assisted living there. And so far, I'm working with Meals on Wheels, and I get Meals on Wheels 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. $6 for a serving, and there's enough in there for 2 meals. And sometimes I'll go downtown and go down to the A&W and have a hamburger, or maybe a bowl of soup, salad, stuff like that. But for 3 days a week, my bills are looked after by Meals on Wheels. Now, if you move into an assisted living place, the other thing is when you find out assisted living sometimes is too expensive. We've a couple of new places in town by the lake, and now I'm having friends going down and finding out that they're going to wind up getting all their meals and their room, and you get your laundry is done there, and a little bunny bus that takes you downtown shopping. But in some cases, people are being quoted fees between $3,000 and $5,000 a month. So if you have 2 people together, you can probably survive because you have the 4 pensions. But when one person has to go to a care home and their 2 pensions go with them, that leaves the other person there. And in most cases, if you're getting, say, $1,800 a month for that, and you're looking at $3,000 a month for an assisted living place, you can see what's happening, because you're going to run out of money. Because the $3,000 a month is more than you get in a pension. Now, if you've sold your home and you've got a few dollars left over from that, that'll probably help you with the difference. So each month you'll be spending your total pension, or 80% of your pension, plus you may be dipping into some of the earnings from your home. So as we age, it's really good that we keep our math skills, and we have children with us to coach us to make sure we don't get into something we can't afford. Because the worst case scenario would be if you move into an apartment and then or a care place, and then your wife has to go in by herself and they take 2 of her pensions, and you're left with just 2, and you have to move into a place where the money exceeds what you get. That means you'll be dipping into the money you have saved, and eventually you run out. And then when you run out, you wind up looking for the low-cost housing. Now, there are some low-cost housing places about in small towns where you can get a room and one meal a day. Some of the cases between $400 and $700 a month. Now, one at Selmo's are $900 a month, one meal. So it really means when we age, if we want to make ourselves easier, our life easier, get away from shoveling snow and cutting grass. It means we can hire people to do that. Or the next option is look around for an assisted living place that we can afford. Find out what your monthly pensions are and say, well, I got this much money to play with. And then do the math and look at the places and say, well, if I move in there, I can afford that. And if my wife has to go into a care facility, I can still afford to live that. So we have to be on guard and do the math and get our family to assist us and do a lot of shopping around before we get too run down. And then the aging thing is a natural thing that comes on. We're going to lose our ability to walk. Look, sometimes we do not if our joints are healthy and our muscles are healthy. If we keep active and we walk a lot, we can probably stay in pretty good shape. But all you need is one bad fall and a broken hip and some other broken bones, and you might wind up in a care home, not able to walk around at all, winding up in a wheelchair, which cuts your access down. So we're taking a look at the aging process and looking around and see what's available, see what other people are doing, taking a look at the cost of the facilities, taking a look at our pensions, and trying to find out how we can survive. And can we move out of a house where there's a whole bunch of stairs that we can't negotiate as we get older and move into a place that has an elevator? And can we afford? That becomes the issue. Can we afford a better place that has the facilities and more facilities? So getting old it's not totally fun and games. It still creates a little bit of a havoc for us to plan where we want to move to. It's nice to get someplace where you get away from the heavy snow shoveling and the grass cutting and stuff like that. And also get away from the stairs. Because if you've got slippery stairs and you've got snow on your steps, that's a hazard for seniors. It means you got to have good shoes, warm clothes, and good grips on your boots so you don't slip and fall and break your bones and wind up in the hospital forever. So have yourself a great day and good luck in aging. And we're enjoying every moment, and every day is a learning exercise. So have yourself a great evening, and we'll talk to you later along the way. God bless you.